Alright, today I'm going to go over the book I read called Beyond Basketball. It is written by Coach Mike Krzyzewski and Jamie K. Spilota. And a little bit about the book. Obviously, it's about Coach K. And Coach K, if you're not familiar, is the head coach of the Duke University basketball team. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's got the most wins of all time. And right now he is currently coaching the United States men's basketball team. And they should be on their way to another gold medal um, if all goes according to plan. But a little bit about the book. Um, it basically goes through the alphabet and different words that Coach K uses um, that kind of have helped him be successful throughout the years. And you know, it's not only for coaching or anything like that. Or it can be coaching and for leaders as well, and they kind of go hand in hand there. Um, but like I said, all these words have made him successful throughout the years, and I'm going to go over a few of the words that I think are really important, and then I'm going to tell you about the words that he thinks are important. So the first word I think that was really important in the book was commitment. Um, Back in 2004, Coach K got an offer to coach the Lakers for $40 million, and he wasn't really sure what he wanted to do. He had to sit down and talk with his family and kind of see where they were as a family, see where they wanted to see what they wanted to do as a family. And so he called up his a guy named Tom Butters for advice, and Tom Butters was Coach K's first ever athletic director once he got to Duke, and he's basically gone to Tom Butters for advice basically his whole life, and he just talks about how kind of in this chapter you know um, how Tom just had a commitment to him even when they were losing it. He talks about how it's easy to have a commitment to somebody when things are going well, but he never felt once like his job was in jeopardy in the early years whenever they were losing. Um, here's a quote right here. He says, "Because of Tom's commitment to me, I developed a commitment to Duke that I knew I could never give up." And I think that says a lot. I think a lot of leaders should have that. And I think people underneath them, um, as long as they feel a source of commitment to them, I feel like they can get the job done. So another one I thought was important was dependability. Um, depend, Dependability, Coach K says, is the ability to be relied on. He goes into talking about Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken was the Baltimore third baseman, and he started 2,632 games all in a row, and which is incredible. But he talks about how great it would be to be Cal Ripken's teammates. You know that guy's always going to be there, and I mean, whether he's sick, hurt, tired, whatever, he's not going to lay down on you. Um, then he talks about his brother Bill, how he kind of learned how to be dependable through him. His brother Bill Krzyzewski is a retired fire marshal in Chicago, and he says that every time he goes up to visit him and they go to the fire department, all the guys say, you know, your brother Bill is awesome. You should be proud to have him as a brother. He's always there for us, never lets us down. And I think, and Coach K even says that um, in this chapter that he's learned that trait through his brother. and that has really helped him become who he is today. And one more quote from this chapter. Coach K says, "Dependability is not only about being there physically, but being there at your best." Now, I think that's a quote that a lot of different people can take into consideration. Now, the last word that I thought was important was pride. Um, and pride is basically self-respect and a feeling of satisfaction over an accomplishment. Um, he learned this from his mom. He says in the book, he said that his mom always said, no matter what you're doing, everything in your life has your personal signature on it. And I think that is one of the coolest little sayings there that I've ever heard. And I think that can go a long way if you really think that and really believe that. I think, as a leader, you know, if I'm doing this, people know I'm going to do this, and you just have a greater sense of pride in what you do. You should be proud of what you do. Um, um, Coach K says now he thinks pride is doing everything at the best of your ability, which I think if you have self-respect and a feeling of satisfaction and you really believe that um, everything you do in your life truly does have your personal signature on it, um, you will do everything at the best of your ability. Um, it kind of flows like that. So now, one thing Coach K really believes in, if you have ever seen him coach a game or something, instead of giving people high fives and or shaking hands or anything like that, he gives his team a fist bump, and basically, he's what he's saying with the fist is each finger represents a word, and you can see the words. You can see the words here. Communication would be one finger. Trust, um, collective responsibility, care, and pride. And basically, when he makes a fist with his hands, that's putting all those fingers together. And in basketball, there's five people, just like on a hand, there's five fingers. And making a fist, they play together. And those are the five words that Coach K thinks are the most important for what he does. And obviously, he's done a fantastic job of coaching. And as a leader, um, you can really use any of these words. There's about 30 words in here to choose from, in any situation, really at any time. And um, you know, everybody has their personal beliefs, and they can really use any of these words. And each one of these words has a great kind of story behind it and why they're in the book, and they all have a purpose for being in the book. And it kind of goes to show you what not only one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, but one of the greatest leaders of all time. I believe a coach is a leader, and a leader of that caliber is, I mean, second to none. And his record shows it. And but that's a little bit about um, this book, Beyond Basketball by Coach K. And I'm Braden McDaniel.